Some of you may recognize this truck. A few months ago we did the wrap on it, and it's definitely one of a kind, and you may be wondering why we have the interior ripped out of it. And there's actually a few reasons for that. One being, wanted to recover the headliner, and we're actually doing a Starlight kit in it. And then while everything was apart, wanted to do a little bit of sound deadener, makes it sound a lot better going down the road. But the main purpose of doing this was, like I said, we're doing a Starlight kit in this interior. Now this is the underside of the headliner, but this is the material used. It's really hard to explain. I don't know the actual name of this material. It's super soft. It kind of feels like a blanket, but it's also thin enough that we were able to wrap it around the headliner. So again, this is one of a kind. I've never seen this done in anywhere else. Usually it's a suede or a Alcantara kind of material. This is neither of those. But either way, we're going to be putting a Starlight kit in here, actually two. So these kits were both purchased off Amazon. Originally we had a 1200 strand kit, and the module was way too big to fit in the truck anywhere, so we found these. These actually fit in the B-pillar quite nicely. So that is the plan. They're $4.50 a piece, like I said, and we're going to be dispersing them throughout the headliner so that if for some reason it is too many stars to handle, you can shut off half of it, only have half of them on at the time. Should make it highly customizable. You can do whatever you want. You can do different color on different kits. You can kind of mix and match how you like that. So we're not really sure how we're going to divide this up, but we kind of want to draw it out into sections and then figure out how many strands per section. And then we also need to figure out how we can mark it in two different ways for each kit, because we don't want, like for example, one side to be one kit and one side to be the other kit. We want them evenly dispersed. So we're going to be figuring that out, and then I will let you know how we figure it out. What you saw there was probably 3-4 hours worth of work in that time lapse. And word of advice, don't use any sort of super glue to do these. We had started using some sort of Gorilla Glue, same as like a CA glue, any super glue really. and right where you glue it, it weakens the spot, and then as soon as you were to put any pressure on it like this, it would snap right off. So now I had this one, this one, this one, this one, and then we had 1 or 2 up there where we had the same issue, and they all broke off. Now, since I had these sections done, these ones broke off on the top, I was actually able to use them in these 2 sections, and again over in here. So I was able to reuse most of them, and then on there, we actually ended up pulling most of them out and then putting new ones back in. So what we are using now is a mixture of hot glue gun, because it stays flexible, as well as this JB Weld, which is a similar thing where it just kind of stays a little bit flexible, doesn't weaken the fibers, and allows it to work really well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish sections somewhat done. Now, once we get 22 done, that's only half of it. We still have to go over them all again in order to get the 900 strands in all the holes. So we're just gonna keep on trucking along and keep going, and hopefully it turns out decent. So pretty much every single spot that we marked has a strand in it. That was kind of the goal. There's a couple that we missed, and then there's a couple that were kind of extras when you feed them over, so you just kind of make a hole wherever. But roughly 900 strands are in this headliner. And when you turn the lights off, that's what it looks like. Now they're both on fading right now, and they're offset in times, so they're kind of doing whatever they want. But the color contrast looks really good. And when you come down here, it looks pretty chaotic. Once it gets trimmed, it's gonna look a hell of a lot better, but I'm pretty excited with how this is turning out. So we're gonna try and just flip it over and kind of see if there's any dead spots, fill them in if there are any, and then probably try and fit this in the truck and see what it looks like. So this is where we have them spitting out of the headliner. Again, this is $450 per side. And when you have them coming out here and you have the packaging off of them, they kind of split up and spread out a little bit. And they do fit under the B-pillar. There's a little bit of foam that we cut out. Just cut it out from here until you get down to this pin, which is right here, which allows you to sink it down into the pillar. And once it goes down, ours makes it all the way down to under the seatbelt where it will be plugged into the module. And as you saw there in the time lapse, got them all cut. They're not 100% flush with the headliner. You can still kind of feel them through the material, but it's not too bad. It looks really good. The kind of nice thing is they're all a little bit different consistency-wise as far as brightness. Some are dimmer, some are brighter, which actually kind of mimics the real stars in the sky, which is kind of nice. And as you can see, you can change pretty much whatever color you want. And it's all, you can do brightness settings, brighten it up, or then you can also do different flashing options, and strobing and fading. It's a pretty cool kit. Is interested in these kits, they were purchased off of Amazon. Again, they are two 450 strand kits. Obviously still have trim to go back on, interior still has to go on. The headliner itself is done, which was the main goal of this video. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if this helped you in any way, be sure to comment, or if you have any questions at all, I will definitely be answering them. So feel free to leave them down below. And with that, we're gonna see you guys in the next one.